Today's the 15th of June of 2024. Bring you the first of the two Capricorn full moons in 2024. It's rare to have two full moons or two new moons in a sign, as the moon, it takes about 29 degrees for the moon to repeat a phase. So we'll have this first full moon on the 21st of June at 9:09 p.m., which will be rare for East Coast and Central U.S., as it'll be almost as the moon's actually setting, which I think will bring even more culmination. So let's see what happens as that full moon will be rising from the eastern horizon as the sun's setting. In other words, where you're trying to go is the sun setting, and where you've been is rising. And so I think this is tremendously karmic from the perspective of these are soul lessons or soul where you were hindered as a soul, so there's limitations or delays, or it's tremendous evolution that can occur here, as this full moon is going to occur in the pair of Saturn, Capricorn, Cancer out of sequence. So the full moon and bringing to culmination is going to occur, the first one, before we plant the seeds in Cancer, opposite of Capricorn, to plant a seed of what we want. So I looked at this, and this came intuitively, that this is a tremendous time to deal with karmic energies, karmic events that have continually tripped you up. Saturn is the master of delaying or teaching, or coming to understanding or limiting you to then see. Usually Saturn operates from a fear perspective, to see that when you remove fear, you can do about anything. Fear, I think, is the biggest hindrance to an ego, which is needed when the ego gets out of whack, when you feel like you can do anything, and then you get too far along because you haven't learned all aspects of whatever you're dealing with. So this full moon is going to be a huge opportunity for you to understand and see how you were deceived, you were controlled or limited from the Saturn/Capricorn perspective, the final of the earth signs here on this earth plane. What you'll notice, hopefully, or what you have been noticing, is there's a lot of revelations that are occurring right now. And what you're seeing is the way Saturn, I think, deals in its finest way is it tries to accuse you of the lesson you're trying to learn. In other words, a lot of these people that are heavily influencing us through media, AI, whatever, they're accusing us of things that they do. It always turn it back on us, like we're the problem. Well, the truth is, we're in a physical form. There's a birth, there's a life, and then there's a death. Things will decay and deteriorate from the physical form. But we have souls. We have souls with the life force in us, which doesn't decay, doesn't end. I think it's timeless. And so we have to learn the lesson of time. And that's what we're here doing. When we allow fear in, it really gets us out of whack. We need to understand fear. We need to understand control. But what are the real purposes of it? And what it is for you to just step back a minute, take a breath, and understand all of your powers, and don't abuse them, right? Do what your true powers can be, which is, I don't want to say do the right thing, but being the master, right? And sitting in the middle, which is what I've been begging y'all to do. So this first full moon is going to really get you to have to think about and see the deception that has been created. It's everywhere. You're going to see the education system is tremendously flawed and been that way for a while. It was just another form of trying to grasp and control and fear. The more I've been looking at all the sectors of life, the more interesting it is now, because this deception is being revealed. And that science, I always said science is it's basically wrong. You got to understand that from the get-go by how it's being applied and studied and then brought to us, because the life force is never ever considered. What they do is they try to tell you that you're a machine and they just try to keep that machine rolling, right? Oil in the machine. Well, you're way more than a machine. You have the life force within you. You have the power of the universe within you. And when you realize that, you can do about whatever it is you want, just don't abuse it. Well, this world is a stopping gap for us to realize how we abuse and try to make everything a machine. We try to mimic everything. Hence, I've developed and understood and describe how this works. If we have the life force, we become the host, and this earth becomes parasitic for us. What we have to do is realize there are parasites, and we have to put our life force in a way, in a manner, that the parasites will just pass through us. They don't stop to grab on and go, oh, they're weak, I can live off this, right? And so look at your life, figure this out, and hopefully this moon will help you realize how you have been a force to supply others that are parasitic. Call them evil, whatever you want, I don't really care. It's something we're learning along the way, not that difficult. So, there will be 2 conjunctions. Actually, it's 3. The sun will be with Mercury and Venus. Sun's your life force, where we're going during this time, during this full moon. And Mercury is how we understand, how we teach or learn from the perspective of not just physical form, but more personal. So what I would say was with these 2 together, and with Venus with that, huge opportunity for you to learn about the deception, learn about the control, learn about the power that you have that others have. Are you giving yours up? Is somebody taking yours? Are you taking others? Are they giving it up? Figure that out. Get in the equation and take this Mercury, Venus, Sun conjunction and work with it here. You can learn a lot here. You can see the deception, figure it out. This full moon is a culmination. You must end things or understand things to where they can come to a culmination, so you can now take what you know and move forward. Sun with Mercury and Venus are going to help do that. You remember, Venus likes ease. You might see things for as they are finally, and as the deception has been presented in ways you never saw. Don't miss the opportunity. Conjunctions, planets are trying to work together. There's 3 oppositions. The moon will be opposing, of course, the sun, because it's full, Mercury and Venus, of course. So what I just talked about with the sun with Mercury and Venus, with the moon opposing those 3, I would ask you to look at how what did you miss from the deceptive or the control or the power? Have you tried to help somebody too much? Have you understood something so much that you feel like you can fix it, or it's up to you? In reality, what you're going to do is pull that back. That's ego getting out of control. You can only do you. And then what you got to do is assist others, but they have to want it. They have to meet you. They have to, right? And so you have to find where they're at in their journey. Are they infantile in their journey? So maybe you got to support them a little bit. Have they been on their journey a while where they have to come meet you, or they have been on their journey a long time and they're just not wanting to meet you? Assess where you're finding whatever it is you're interacting with or encountering. Because if you think about an infant, my son and his wife just had a baby. They have to do everything for that baby. It's trying to learn the physical world, right? So if you find somebody in an infant stage, you may have to help them a little more. But you don't want to treat them as if they're in the infant stage if they're not. Because then you now are karmically attaching and causing issues for you and them. If they don't want to do the work, there's nothing you can do to help them. If they're not able to do the work, you may have to help them get to the point where they are. Please understand what you're doing and where you find people. Also understand where you're at. You may be in an infantile stage where you need help. Don't take advantage of the help you get if you're not in an infantile stage. You're going to see all this now. Huge awakenings. If you haven't noticed, there's people that have been accusing and getting, finally, having to address maybe that they were doing what they were accusing of, right? And then there's some people on the other side, or on the other end, who've been accused, and now they're trying to get back to what they were because they're thinking that maybe you'll forgive them, or maybe, look, everybody's got to work on their own path and stuff. I'm not telling you not to forgive, but what I'm telling you is the deception's on all ends and in all facets, so don't lose that fact. Don't lose that understanding. I'm thinking of Kevin Spacey. Somebody sent me something. He's trying to beg to get back in. I find that humorous, so to speak. What you're going to find when this deception is unraveled is there's some things that you could never imagine, but if you just step back and think, that's probably been going on all along for control purposes. So do not let something get you out of whack. Stay in the middle. Stay in the middle, as some of these things are going to be extremely gross and terrible. These are huge events are coming. I'll talk about that a little more, about a couple other planets. But the awakening's now. Really, you just got to find yourself. Trines in astrology are planets that are in like elements, or same elements. You got Mars and the moon together. They don't really like to go together, but they're going to be a little more in agreement now because they're in the same element. Mars is like the pioneer. It's like, we got to get going. We got to figure this out. We got to take action. The moon is kind of like, I need to nurture. I need to support. I don't want to be out in the front lines. Well, these two together are going to help you get some insight to catapult you. Don't forget that, right? You may find yourself irritated or extremely impassioned about something. Either way, know, hey, it's a Mars energy trying to tap into some of the moon powers that I've developed. Stuff in your arsenal that is going to help you to use from maybe other lifetimes, or understanding that you've come to, the wiseness, right, that you can now use to begin anew. So you'll have a wise approach and understanding to use this Mars energy to pioneer something to get you back going on your path. Pluto will be trying Uranus and Jupiter. Pluto's the soul. Uranus is your unique genius, so to speak, and Jupiter expands. The unique aspects, the deep aspects of your soul and its uniqueness are trying to together work here. Let it. Please let it. Please, please, please realize that you may be way more advanced than you thought. The only thing that can get you here is if you get the ego out and go, I got this, I know everything. Don't do that. Take your unique perspectives, plant seeds. I know we don't plant seeds on the full moon, but you're going to want to do that here. Just put insight out, and not only for yourself or others around you, and walk away. Don't feel like you have to define it to its core. With Uranus there, you just got to give the truth. You got it. It's within you from the soul perspective. Let it happen. Let Jupiter take that and expand it. I hope that makes sense. Squares, there will be 6 of them. Sorry, there was 2 conjunctions, 3 oppositions, 5 trines. There's going to be 6 squares here. Sun will be square, Saturn and Neptune. That's why I talk about you're going to realize a deception. Neptune hides, Saturn teaches by delays, limitations, restrictions, right? What's happening is you're going to see how, coming to this planet, you were treated by these parasites as a host. They were going to take from you whatever they could. They were going to put you in the commodity realm. What can I get out of them? How much can I get? How long will they give it to me? When they get all they can, they realize you're not going to give it, they'll start walking away from you. These are the times I realize I got to quit being a damn host. Get these parasites out. I'm going to rid myself of them. You do that by awakening, ridding yourself of the ego. This Saturn, Neptune squaring the sun, huge opportunity for you here. The moon will also be square Saturn, Neptune. These are lessons that you have been doing, working on. You've fallen for the trap, but these are also knowledge. There's knowledge you have here. Tap into it. Don't be afraid. Don't think you need a book. The education system is bullshit. Science is bullshit. Realize that. They forgot one key factor, the universe and its true life force and how it works. They took that out of all the education because they didn't want us to have it, because then we would self-empower. Well, guess what? We're in the time where we're going to get it back. Know that, okay? So at the moon square, Saturn, Neptune, you've already been through this. This has happened already. Don't be foolish. Figure it out. Let's go. Neptune will be square Venus as well. It might not be easy because both Neptune and Venus like ease, and they like it to feel good, whatever. This may feel a little awkward or not simple or whatever. Go, because you're going to keep going. You will get insight that you realize how, by them making it look easy, by them saying that trying to describe it to you that feels good, like a pill, all this medicine they're giving us and stuff, you're going to start seeing that they brought it in a way that I would accept it because it was really easy for me or simple, and then I accepted it because I didn't do my work. I'm telling you, do your work this time and get out of their damn system that is not good for you, never has been. Hopefully you're awakening to that concept because it's right in front of your face. Huge transformation is happening, evolutions at our front door. This last aspect, Pluto square Mars, this is warring. You will get pissed off at some of this. You will be shocked, but I want to describe everything first, and I want to end with this. The war might start here. This is why I think middle of July, all this is happening, as once we get the Cancer new moon in 2 weeks, and then that second Capricorn moon at the end of the reign of Sun in Capricorn, we'll then plant seeds for what we've learned, which is going to be pretty damn maybe ugly. It'll be miraculous. It'll be shocking. It'll be very informative. And it's going to be a 30-day run here to the middle of July that you're going to get an understanding that's going to be completely transformed. Pluto, Mars, square. You ain't going to like some. You'll be riled up by some. Hope all that happens to you. You will awaken. It is awakening you to a tremendous depth. Now, a lot of you have been doing the work. So what I'm talking about is your awakening is going to be extremely advanced. Most of society, as we look out there, haven't awakened at all. They're still falling for all the narratives, falling for the medicine, the quick, let me do this to heal you or fix you or whatever, and never gone inside or considered going inside to do the work. Also, the people that have been highly educated, they're falling for the AI traps. AI's BS. AI is only what we give it, right? And that's why they want Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff, because the more we give that, the more AI data can be gathered and they can use. Even hell, YouTube, they're probably taking what we're talking about here. But the great understanding or awakening is AI will never replace you. It might replace you in the workforce that they've created, but if you continually grow and evolve from the inside, you'll be so much more than that workforce could ever be, because you're imaginative. You can create. You will, if you're working on all your faculties, you will get what was needed most from the least amount of energy to be used to solve the scenario. What you'll also see is that you are not the problem. A lot of people have talked about this, the 0 point energy, which I think there was a few scientists along the way that truly had it, and then they got whacked either by discredited or killed because they were letting everybody know that what you need is all around you always, and you never can take more than you use, and you never use more than is allowed. In other words, it's just an exchange. We exchange energy, right? We don't take more than there is available. We're not depleting. They don't ever want you to know that, because when you know that, things make sense. Things come together. Things are then put in a way for you that you understand that you're not to blame. You're not just a commodity that you got to feed some system or whatever. You're with the universe. Always have been, always will be. The universe wants you with it. We're together to make this thing as great as it can be. I hope that makes sense. Please comment. Enjoy these 2 full moons, because the awakening, the culmination is here. Think about that. Do not be surprised if the war starts, collapsing events of monetary, whatever, because we've squared that eclipse in Aries, which was about us finding how this thing really works from a perspective that is where we're at, not where somebody says we are. We're finding it from our evolutionary state, and that's what we've always needed to do, to get the fear and limitations out so we can then truly work from within and make this happen. Good luck.